Hello students, welcome to Science and Tech series with Dr. Vivek Rana. So we'll be decoding topics from prelim perspective, just like our last lecture on environment ecology, because this is our prelims booster course specifically meant for students who are appearing in June 16 prelims examination. So today the theme is the 10 probable themes you should ideally revise from science and tech section, because this section is highly dynamic and at times unpredictable, but still aspirants are able to score it through, you could say, some elimination method, or you could say all of the above theme. So still we will going to just highlight what are the major topics which you should mug up from the specific 10 pillars of science and tech if you want to do reasonably well in science and tech. So first of all, the first theme is the space section. We all know space is one of the sectors which always gives us positive news, and India has a tradition of being the front runner in some emerging technologies in space tech. So make sure while going through space sector, first of all, revise the traditional outer space success stories of India, right from Chandrayaan 2, Chandrayaan 3, and Mangalyaan just concluded this year. But the main focus should be on the Aditya L1 mission, because this theme has a potential to be asked on prelims perspective. What are the Lagrangian points? What are the distance? Who discovered them? What is their significance? Apart from that, the emerging theme of Gaganyaan, what are the critical technologies involved in executing that mission should be thorough in your mind. Also, you should have a clarity about the emerging seaports. And this year we saw on Jan 1 ExpoSat being launched. So make sure you are clear about what is AstroSat, what is ExpoSat, what are the other ground-based telescopes which India currently is operating to decode the, you would say, the cosmic phenomena like black hole, white dwarf, red giant, supernovas, etc. And also make sure the conventional topics are revised, because this year PSLV C55, C56 were in news, and from GSLV perspective, a couple of communication satellites were launched. So if you want to score well, make sure you are revising the remote sensing part, the NAVIC IRNSS part, and also the conventional Earth observation remote sensing part thoroughly. The types of orbit, different types of launch vehicle, because this year SSLV also dominated headlines. So you should be absolutely clear what are the basic differences between the PSLV, GSLV, and the small satellite launch vehicle and their significance. So more or less from foreign perspective, the outer planetary mission of NASA, European, Japan, all are equally important, because there's a trend of mining asteroids now or bringing sample back to Earth. So JUICE mission, right from the New Dawn, Horizon, these missions are the ones you have to look out for in this. Coming to the second pillar, once again a rewarding pillar in science and tech is defense sector, because due to geostrategic implications as well as due to our security concerns, defense forms the backbone of science and tech. And we have seen last year also a question appearing on BrahMos and Agni missile. This year you should focus on various missions launched under the IGMDP program, and also the mission Uddhav and mission Divya Shakti was also in news. So make sure you are able to differentiate what is the significance of Agni 5, what is the Agni P features are, how is it different from the conventional Prithvi series, because classification of missiles has been a traditional topic which you ideally should revise from science and tech, and try to link it with the missiles which are in use, even though some of them have been in use in the recent Israel-Palestine conflict, or you could say Russia-Ukraine. Zircon was a hypersonic missile which dominated headlines. Also, the traditional topics like the aircrafts acquired by India, like Rafale C-130J, because they were in news for all the positive reasons. And Indianization of technology is once again a critical theme, in which the Tejas and Indian-built helicopters at times are asked like Rudra. And currently the warfare has moved on to drone phase. So some specific examples related to UAVs are also to be mugged up. UAV Tapas was something which dominated headlines for a couple of weeks. And apart from the traditional unmanned aerial vehicles like Nishant, Panchi, Netra, Garud, they are also to be revised. So in these themes, make sure you are not too specific about the micro details like what are the length of the arm span or what are the height or meters. Just you should be able to differentiate the functional aspect of such themes. And coming to Indian Navy, once again, the three pillars dominated: the nuclear submarines, aircraft carrier, and the warships. So make sure you are able to differentiate the specific examples, right, from INS Arihant to INS Arighat, or from INS Vikramaditya to Vikrant, or from INS Kolkata, Chennai, Kochi warships, because we have seen some maritime conflicts as well this year, in especially when Houthis were trying to bombard, even though there was not direct active involvement from Indian Navy, but still the theme got a decent attention. And the minor part is the war exercises. They are unending, but make sure you are clear about the exercises between India and the developed nations on a priority, like what is Yuddha Abhyas, what is hand in hand, what is Malabar Milan exercise, what is the significance of quad exercise, the Malabar one, and also the lighter ones like Simbex, Linex, Suryakit. So we have covered them exhaustively in our class lecture. So make sure there is no harm in going through, because one accidental question could be make or break in this defense section. And also the hypersonic missile technology is one which you have to look out for in emerging technologies when we talk about the defense. Now coming to the third pillar of science and tech, it's once again a theme which is likely to be asked this year, is the nuclear energy. Nuclear or atomic energy is the broad theme in which your focus should be on the new emerging technology of small modular reactors. What is the megawatt they generate? How are they different from conventional reactors is the theme you should ideally be able to differentiate. And also we have seen that in last decade, the fusion reactors, the experimental fusion reactors, which are commonly known as tokamak reactors, are holding hope for a cleaner and brighter future. So a lot of countries have invested in individual, you could say, experimental fusion reactors. So make sure incorrectly matched or the right word question might appear from this section. So you should be clear what is JET. JT60A is the Japanese Taurus super advanced tokamak reactor. What is the ITER project, which was already asked in UPSC? It is International Thermonuclear Energy Reactor, or being operational at France. And also the artificial sun project of China, HL2M, or of South Korea, K-Star, are equally important. USA also dominated headlines through Livermore laboratory experiment, which was once again tried to control the fusion reaction. So make sure you have an exhaustive list of all these fusion reactors. From traditional part, once again you have to revise the significance of breeder reactors, because Kakrapar was once again in news. And also we have seen the Kakrapar was in news because of it is the largest operational nuclear reactor from India's perspective. It does 700 megawatt. And the conventional topic of what are the components of a nuclear reactor, how is fission different from fusion, and we have seen the Robert Oppenheimer movie dominating Oscars. So make sure you are clear about who is the father of atomic bomb testing, what are the site where it was tested, what is the Operation Trinity is actually standing for, and try to link it with India's journey as well, because recently we have seen the National Technology Day, or we have completed the testing of 50 years of the historic Operation Smiling Buddha as well. So in nuclear, once again, if you are thorough with the themes, you will definitely get dividends, and these questions are comparatively easy to attempt. Last year also there was a question on enrichment in which they have tried to confuse the ratio. So make sure these traditional three topics of science and tech are not missed at any cost, because you can afford to miss the remaining sections, but these three are the core pillars from which the prelims examination is mainly based. So we cannot just go soft on these three core pillars. That's why in this video also we have taken the main pillars on the priority basis. Coming to the fourth one, it is the tricky one, robotics, AI. Traditionally, this section is not asked in prelims, but there is every possibility that this year it might finally make inroads. In mains, it is appearing again and again, because we know that the current decade is decade of artificial intelligence, and a lot of controversies generated by chat GPT, you could say voice cloning or deep fakes, have once again put focus on this emerging technology. So make sure you focus on some specific example of robotics which are contributing to human welfare. For say, like Bandicoot robot is used for manual scavenging. We have seen Supreme Court taking harsh statements that ideally we should address these dangerous activities or hazardous activities through robotics. Also, the Sophia, Sam, Ross, these were all AI based, you could say, humanoid robots which dominated headlines for all positive or you could say some controversial reasons. And in the application part, make sure the answer is most of the times all of the above, because they are trying to test your temperament. When the given technology is available to you, when you are in power, would you be able to take holistic overview? So in such question, generally they will ask that what could be the role of artificial intelligence? Can they be used to write essays? Can they be used to compose music? So make sure you have a holistic picture of these new emerging softwares we are catering to needs of artificial intelligence. Generally, all of the above holds true in such questions. So this is my advice. So in this robotics AI section, you can expect a glorification theme, or so risk part will be most likely to be asked in the mains examinations. Now coming to the oceanic research. Oceanic research is a, you could say, a underdog in science and tech section, even though it does not find direct mention in your UPSC main syllabus, but we have seen every 3 years one question from this section appears, and more or less it's of easy nature. This year, once again, the Antarctic expeditions were in news, so make sure you are clear about what is the significance of Dakshin Gangotri, Maitri or Bharti research station. And we also have our functional Arctic station at Himadri. And questions on IND-ARC and Arctic Council have already appeared, so chances are bleak that they might be repeated again. So the key area on which you should ideally focus is the mission Samudrayan, because we have seen that to commemorate 75 years of independence, a landmark project which caters to the deep ocean exploration, the Samudrayan is being planned, in which 3 individuals will be sent in submersible vehicle which has been named Matsya to explore the Indian seabed. And also the associated topic of UN clause 1982 can be revised to just have a fair idea of what exactly are territorial limits, what are the exclusive economic zones, because these are some conventional themes at times which are asked. And also the role of polymetallic nodules, because they have been since the blue economy has become buzzword of late, the term polymetallic nodule is gaining significance. This potato shaped manganese nodules are rich in some rarer elements, so they hold a geostrategic importance. So make sure some basic themes of rare earth atoms, what are polymetallic nodules, what are their linkage with the electronic vehicles, are you are able to link them. Otherwise, this is one of the themes which really troubles UPSC. So these were the first 5 pillars which you should cover from science and tech section. Now coming to the 6th pillar is once again a tough nut to crack for majority of UPSC aspirants. It's the biotech section. Now biotech section is a theme which is being asked in a qualitative way in UPSC. The reason is this is one of the themes which finds mentioned in your +2 NCERTs, unlike the typical topics which we just discussed, which are yet to make inroads in your life sciences text. So that's why the level of question from biotech is at times comparatively of higher nature. Some major themes which you should ideally focus in biotech are the traditional themes like gene editing technology. Already a couple of questions on CRISPR-Cas9 have appeared in UPSC Prelims, so they would not be a surprise if they ask what are the potential application or the controversies linked with the gene editing technology, right from designer babies to gene edited crops. How are they different from genetically modified crops? Secondly, the stem cells once again was in news due to positive applications, and we are on cusp of making a breakthrough in induced pluripotent stem cells. So in stem cells, since mains question have already been asked in UPSC and state services, in prelims you should be thorough what exactly are the features. Like they are of unspecialized nature, they have high potency, they have capable of cell division by mitosis. So some technical clarity on this theme is expected if you want to attempt a question on stem cells. And also the cloning was once again in news. A lot of experiments in last 2 or 3 years have catered to the need of producing the cloned animals. Even though the human cloning is always banned, but the animal cloning, especially in NDRI or CIRB Hisar, are always in news. So India has mastered the art of cloning. So it is a traditional topic in which somatic cell nuclear transfer technology is asked of. And then coming to the vaccine part in biotech section, that cannot be underestimated. We have seen the fair bit of controversies as well as limelight to the vaccines. This year, Nobel Prize in Medicine and Physiology was awarded for discovery of mRNA vaccines. So you should be absolutely clear what are different types of vaccine, how a live attenuated vaccine is different from inactivated viral vector vaccines, and what advantage mRNA vaccines have over these two. Also, we have seen the Covishield controversy. So the technical term of thrombosis with thrombocytopenia needs to be understood in that perspective. It's nothing but the clot which is formed along with the low platelet count, because this thrombo word is referring to the platelet number. In dengue also we had seen the drop of the platelet number. So in biotech, make sure the role of genetic engineering, recombinant, gene therapy, DNA profiling, biometrics, these are some of the topics which are time and again asked in UPSC Prelims. So, and most of the time the answer caters to the all of the above, even though some minor catch be there when they are trying to ask the organism. For example, they are asking you about some GM crop. They will try to pinpoint what is the exact organism from which the gene has been isolated, or what peculiar trait is being tried when you are creating that genetically modified species. So we can go on and on in this section and still may not find all the right answer, but make sure you do not skip this part, because we have seen one of the years in last 5 years from Science and Tech, this theme had dominated, and all 3-4 questions were from biotech section. So make sure you do not skip this. Then comes the medicine part, and this is one of the favorite themes of UPSC examiners, because we have seen from general science the question are being skipped. Only question which are appearing are more or less catered to the biology section. In biology section, we have a specific theme called diseases. In diseases part, we need to understand that it's the medicine section which needs to be strengthened if you want to earn those couple of marks from this section. So typically we have seen in last 4-5 years the COVID-19 theme has dominated, but by now you must be quite saturated with this development, even though recently we have seen once again JN1 as well as flood, you could say mutations, once again making inroads and creating a minor scare after that Omicron and Delta phase. So make sure you are clear about the concept of different types of mutations, how these affect viruses. Also the term gyrus was in news, which represents giant virus. So make sure some new developments related to the organisms or some diseases which we are trying to decode through research and development are being updated periodically. Otherwise, in this medicine section, the antimicrobial resistance theme is the favorite areas of examiners, and typically any 3 or 5 diseases which made headlines in the timeline from May 25 or to you can say June 16 to May 25 line phase need to be covered exhaustively. So right from dengue to chikungunya to the H5N8 to H3N8, because these were the avian flu cases which made headlines for a short brief of time, but eventually they were controlled. Right from the vaccines which were developed for some unconventional diseases need to be updated, and Indian government is trying to eliminate sickle cell anemia, Kala Azar and filariasis on priority. So these 3 diseases are once again in the positive limelight, and polio once again was in news because recent cases were detected in Pakistan. So these are some of the conventional diseases which we need to cover exhaustively. What are the system being affected? What is their vaccine or treatment available? What are the new interventions? And finally from medicine, it's the malaria topic, which is evergreen topic, which is asked time and again. So make sure you are clear about the new vaccine which is being manufactured, the Matrix M, apart from that conventional MOS, Curix or RTSG, and the lemongrass or the gambusia question have already been asked, so hopefully they will not be. Then comes the IT computer part. We know that from 1980s onward, technology has made our life quite easy, and the current phase is quite relevantly called the digital phase of our lifetime, in which IT computers are the sectors which are contributing economically to the growth of country as well as science and tech. So in these, the fastest supercomputers built by India globally are to be covered. Make sure you are seeing the top 500 list. Fugaku, Frontier are some of the names which have dominated headlines. From Indian perspective, it's always the computers produced by CDEC which gain the limestone. Apart from that, the quantum computing is the topic which you have to be thorough with, because we have seen the question on Qubits and Quest program already being appeared in UPSC examination. So there will be no surprise if they go further develop about what are the potential applications, what this quantum technology upholds, and what are the Heisenberg or entanglement or superposition actually means in basic parlance. And you need to understand the evolution from 1G to 5G is once again a topic of choice if they want to make a attemptable question, and make sure you are able to compare what are the difference between Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Li-Fi. These are some of the basic technologies which find their things, and the basic terms of Internet of Things, virtual reality, augmented reality also need to be looked from larger perspective of socio-economic development. So this theme at times could be a tricky one, but if you are thorough with it or you are an engineer, you would definitely have an edge in this ICT section. Then comes the topic of scientists. This topic we have seen is asked every third or fourth year. So frequency of scientist topic appearing in prelims is quite rare, but whenever it comes, it becomes an edge questions. So this topic has to be covered in 3 phases. First of all, make sure you mug up the ancient scientists which contributed to science and tech development in India, because typically whenever Indian Science Congress is being held, a couple of names are always highlighted for in larger than life perspective, and that topic becomes a buzzword for them. For example, they are highlighting the contributions made by Aryabhat, Bhaskaracharya, Brahma Gupta, or from medicine field, Charak, Shushruth, Varamhir, or you could say the Rit Samhita. So these are the specific themes which are to be covered from ancient. In the you could say modern times, the current scientists, especially Dr. C.V. Raman, S. Ramanujan, Jagdish Chandra Bose, Satyendra Nath Bose, on which the famed word boson is associated, are to be covered qualitatively. So it's an unending topic, but the focus has to be primarily on the Indian scientists who have made nation proud with their landmark achievements. So we can say that the recent scientists who have been awarded for their development, their discoveries have to be memorized, because UPSC rarely focuses on the modern scientists and their specific names, but nevertheless it's a theme which cannot be underestimated, and comparatively, since there is no hardcore concept applied in this such themes, so this is an easy factual question to attempt. So you should be clear when is the National Science Day celebrated, when is Technology Day celebrated, what are the Indians who have made the Indian science a success story. And last but not the least refers to emerging technology. So this is a dynamic topic which has become quite favorite of UPSC over the years, because this is one of the themes which keeps on changing with the perspective years, and typically does not find mention in typical lectures which we teach in class or in any textbook if you are relying on, because they want to see if the student is able to understand the emerging technologies and their implications for short and long term. For example, the autonomous vehicle technology, what exactly is the hyperloop technology, is it feasible enough, what sectors it will revolutionize, or basic technologies like RFID, radio frequency identification, which we use in your fast tags. So these are to be covered. Apart from that, the challenges associated with the e-vehicle technology, because that's emerging technology which is going to revolutionize science and tech, and also the different types of hydrogen. What is the difference between pink hydrogen, gray hydrogen, green hydrogen, or what exactly are the different generations of biofuels which are contributing to clean renewable energy. So this is a theme in which you have to be little open that what exactly are the technologies which are making headlines, even though they might be used for some wrong reason, like we have seen in bitcoins. The cryptocurrencies got a quite negative limelight, but the technology behind it, blockchain, still holds immense scope in revolutionizing, you'd say, public sector. So thing related to EVM, because that's also a technology in a picture. Since it's the election phase, you should be clear what is the inedible ink used for marking. It's a silver nitrate. So this emerging technology topic is something which you feel that some people have started using and have entered into common person life, and it's making things a little easier or better for it. How is LED better from CFL technology? That what are the controversies with mercury? So this is a scope in which you have to just look out for all the technologies from positive perspective, and also from the controversial domain as well, because we have seen how calcium carbide at times generate acetylene, which is used for artificial ripening and creates a lot of complications. So in a nutshell, we can say that these are the 10 themes. Typically, more or less, these are nothing but which we have covered in the class lectures. You could add nanotech in it, in the emerging technology, because the nanotech we have seen the prelim question are straightforward. Generally, they are glorifying the applications right from the medical sector to the, you could say, the agriculture or IT sector. And make sure you mug up the quantum dots as well, because this year Nobel Prize in Chemistry was awarded to quantum dots, which happens to be associated with nanotech. In case you are having any specific queries which you feel have not been highlighted in this particular lecture, or you are having problems in revision or any specific problem related to science and technology, feel free to connect. We still have a couple of weeks with us, and make sure we do not give up easily on science and tech section, because this section, if you do well, could be a make or break section. You could definitely get an edge of around 10 to 12 marks if it goes right, because of late 13 questions are being asked regularly from this section. General science has taken a back seat, and science and tech has emerged a front runner, because they want the current administrators to be tech savvy and use technology for socio-economic development. So I hope this session was useful in some way. So I have covered the environmental ecology as well and science and tech as well. So once again, wishing you all the best for upcoming prelims. Just believe in your preparation. Do well. Have a nice day.